My entire family of 50 is dining at another restaurant. You'll be footing the bill for the cancellation fee. Today is my father-in-law David's 60th birthday celebration. And just an hour before the event, I get this message from my sister-in-law. What's going on? Mary, please stop this terrible joke. Oh, are you too dumb to understand what I'm saying? Are you serious? If you think I'm lying, I'll tell you where I am. Come see for yourself. Skeptical, but considering this is something my sister-in-law would do, I rushed to the restaurant she mentioned. When I arrived at the restaurant's parking lot, it was filled with luxury cars. Could these cars be? They're family cars. Everyone's rich, so of course they drive high-end vehicles. My sister-in-law's smug face was so repulsive it gave me chills. A sign at the restaurant's entrance read, "Closed for private event." I specially arranged to book this 3-star restaurant. But you told me to reserve a steakhouse, remember? I forgot about that ages ago. I felt my nails digging into my clenched fists as I tried to contain my anger. Why are you doing this? I can't stand how you, being poor, act like you belong in our prestigious family. That's awful. Besides, David prefers French cuisine over steak. You're failing as a daughter-in-law if you don't even know that. I can't believe she'd go this far just because she doesn't like me. And she said she already informed my husband about the change in menu for the 60th birthday celebration. I haven't heard anything from my husband, nor has he contacted me. John doesn't care about you either. The lack of communication proves it. Maybe divorce is just a matter of time. There's no way my supportive husband would betray me like this. He must be dealing with some work emergency. That's the only explanation. As I tried to call my husband, my sister-in-law stopped me. John said he's dealing with a sudden issue at work. It would be rude to call him now. I wondered what happened. He didn't mention anything when I left the office. I don't know the details, and it's none of my business. Now, I have to go back inside. When David arrives, I'll just say you didn't want to celebrate his 60th birthday and left. What kind of person is she? To think she'd go to such lengths to lie? Please let me confirm if David's family is really here. Waiter, there's a suspicious person here. Please remove her immediately. I was treated like a suspicious person and was kicked out. Still in shock, I immediately grabbed my phone to cancel the reservation at the steakhouse. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Can I cancel today's reservation? We've already prepared the meals, so if you cancel now, you'll be charged the full amount. I figured as much. I had no choice but to go to the empty steakhouse and pay the cancellation fee. Driving there, I felt utterly down. What's even more puzzling is that my usually supportive husband hasn't contacted me at all. I've tried calling him multiple times, but he's not picking up. I can't bring myself to believe he'd betray me, even if he said he was dealing with a work emergency. Please answer the phone. My name is Sally, and I'm 33 years old, overwhelmed by recent events. I've been married for 2 years to my husband, who's the same age as me. David, who just turned 60, is the CEO of the company. My brother-in-law is the COO, and my husband is the head of HR, and I'm a senior admin officer. My sister-in-law, Mary, was my classmate in middle school and has always been an aggressive woman. She made my life miserable since school, saying she doesn't like my poor-looking face and calling me plain whenever we crossed paths. So when I met her parents before getting married, and she sweetly told them we were classmates, I had a bad feeling. Sure enough, after marriage, she's been using her position as my sister-in-law to boss me around, and I'm stuck in a negative loop. She acts nice in front of her parents, so if I refuse her, I become the bad guy. I can't get out of that negative loop. She's also been bad-mouthing me behind my back, saying I seduced a wealthy man despite being an ordinary woman who never got male attention. All of this started a month ago. Mary called me during my break and said, "Book a steakhouse for David's 60th birthday celebration next month." Do you have any recommendations? I'm not familiar with steakhouses. That's why poor people are useless. There's no need to say it like that. Shut up. If you want to be accepted as a daughter-in-law in this prestigious family, find an amazing steakhouse. It might be hard for someone used to poverty like you. It's true that my family isn't wealthy, but being looked down upon for that is truly heartbreaking. I'll make sure to find a place that will satisfy everyone. I'm looking forward to it. Mary's sarcastic laughter and tone made me feel like she was hoping for me to fail. How many people should I reserve for? I can't believe you've been married for 2 years and still don't know how many people to invite. Why does she have to talk like this? I was trying to convince myself that all of this was for David's celebration. David has many siblings, so I'm not sure who to invite. You incompetent daughter-in-law. Invite all the relatives, of course. David's siblings, their spouses, their children, and even the nieces and nephews. So that would be around 50 people? Yes, that sounds about right. David is the wealthiest among his siblings, so it's common sense to invite everyone. I see. Talking to you makes me feel like I'm the one who's unreasonable. I'm sorry. Don't worry. As a special favor, I'll contact the relatives. Just call me as soon as you've booked the steakhouse. Mary was surprisingly kind, which made me suspicious, but I was too busy with work to think much of it. I had no idea this was all a trap to set me up, and I feel foolish for not realizing it. Understood. I can't wait to see if someone as poorly raised as you can actually choose a decent steakhouse. Bye. After doing extensive research, I booked a reservation at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and told Mary. She instructed me to request dishes made with their highest quality ingredients, which they don't usually serve to their customers. So the cancellation fee for today is likely around $20,000. As I recall the conversation with Mary from a month ago, I felt increasingly miserable, wondering if I would continue to be looked down upon, not just from my student days, but even now. When I finally arrived at the steakhouse, the owner greeted me and led me inside. About 30 minutes into the meal, Mary called. How much was the cancellation fee? Or are you washing dishes because you can't afford it? You'd be better off sweeping floors. No, I'm actually dining at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Wow, eating alone. That's pathetic. I can't stop laughing just thinking about it. Laugh all you want. I'm eating. So can we wrap this up if you're just going to mock me? Let me have a little more fun. We have a big gathering here with 50 family members, and it's a blast. Mary seemed to take great pleasure in my misery and laughed triumphantly. To shut her up, I said, I'm sorry to interrupt your fun, but David is here. We're all celebrating his 60th birthday. What? Why are you having a blast when the guest of honor isn't there? Don't lie. If you don't believe me, I'll send you a photo. I hung up and sent her a photo of David, who was happily chatting. Soon, Mary called back. I want you to get over it. Enough is enough. Who are these people? They're David's friends, colleagues, golf buddies, and even the pilot of his private jet. We're all having a great time, and the food is fantastic. Upon hearing this, Mary screamed so loudly, I could hear her through the phone. What's going on? David has a wide network. When we invited them, they were more than happy to attend. It's probably just 10 people. Actually, it's around 80. We even had to get extra abalone and spiny lobster because we ran out of food. They're so fresh, you can smell the ocean. You're missing out, Mary.
What? John said he knew about the change in venue.
You just said, okay, got it. My husband knew you were up to something the moment you called. My perceptive husband had sensed something was off when Mary called to say the venue had changed. He tried to call me, but couldn't reach me due to work issues. He left a voicemail explaining that he knew about Mary's scheme. Unaware of all this, I was led into the room by the owner and was surprised to find David already there.
John was worried because he couldn't reach Sally. That's why I had the owner wait for you at the entrance.
David, didn't you get the message about the change in venue?
I knew it was just Mary messing with us.
I see.
Sally, you're too kind, and that's your weakness. You're diligent at work, and I always admire that. I believe our company thrives because of you.
Thank you.
I never interfered before, but I can't forgive Mary for harassing my precious Sally.
While we were talking, my husband kept bringing in more of David's acquaintances, and the room quickly filled up. We had originally booked a private dining room, so even though the number of guests increased, the owner accommodated us without any issues. Just as the atmosphere peaked, my sister-in-law called again.
Who's going to pay for all this food?
Isn't your family covering it?
I told them it was on the house. I was planning to have David pay for everything later.
I was stunned by Mary's words. The idea that she planned to make the guest of honor pay for his own 60th birthday celebration was beyond my wildest imagination. I think it's common sense that the people attending the celebration should pay, not David. Talking to you, Mary, makes me feel like I'm the one who's unreasonable. Mary suddenly fell silent when I said this. Seizing the moment, I confronted her with a fact. Forgot to mention, your husband is also here with us.
What? My husband betrayed me?
It seems he couldn't stand your attitude towards me anymore. Your husband doesn't seem to care about you. And the lack of contact is proof enough. Divorce might be just a matter of time. Mary choked on her words, then suddenly flipped and started begging.
I went too far this time. I apologize. Please tell him not to divorce me.
No can do. Your husband says, pay your own bills. Don't rely on me. Oh, David is calling me over. Gotta go.
Wait, please wait.
She seemed to be saying something at the end, but it doesn't matter to me anymore. Eventually, Mary was surrounded by family members who knew the whole story and was so overwhelmed that she fainted. Everyone left her and went home. I later heard that Mary was shocked when she saw the restaurant bill of $30,000 and ran out without paying, getting arrested for dine and dash. What a pathetic ending. She was released immediately since it was her first offense, but her husband's anger didn't subside, and they ended up divorcing. Mary, who had never worked a day in her life, tried to return to her parents' house, but was told it would be disgraceful to come back after a divorce. It's clear she's headed for a life of hardship. Poor thing. But it's her own doing. As for me, a source of stress has been eliminated, and I'm enjoying my days. Plus, I'm now carrying the baby we've always wanted. My husband is already excited, and a warm, gentle atmosphere envelops our home, making the future look filled with happiness.